All right, so I've seen a couple people claim that the Star Engine tech demo was in fact cut, contrary to what Chris said. This is primarily inspired by Burks going over it on his stream. I didn't really care before then, but I thought it was interesting to look into. And a quick disclaimer: this isn't me like doing a weird attack on Burks. I watch him all the time. He's a great streamer. I just think it's an interesting thing to analyze. At the end of the day, we have this seamless tech in game. It's not like they're lying about having seamless tech. But primarily, what people are talking about is this wormhole section here, where we jump out and we get this strange empty screen, and then suddenly Pyropa pops in. Now, live at CitizenCon, I just initially assumed that this is a weird loading error. You know, you go into the space and then suddenly everything pops in around you. It wouldn't be the first time something like that happened. But if you do go into this space and you zoom it down to 0.25, go a little further here, a little back. So right here, we're starting to get dark, and I think almost instantly, it's pretty clear this is not a fade because the entire screen is not getting uniformly dark. This is pretty clearly the cloud popping in. I mean, you can, if you look, you can see the background here and then pop in, and on top of it, you can still see the background, still see the background, still see the background. And if this was a fade, it would fade from the previous scene into this scene, and you can still see the background the entire time. If that isn't convincing enough, if you're like, well, there's still some editing trickery, watch the quantum particles themselves. If you look at this one in specific, and it might be a little hard to see, it's directly above my cursor. You can still see remnants of the particle from the quantum, or sorry, from the wormhole, and it's still on top of the gate. You can still very, very vaguely see it. Again, it might be hard. You might want to pull this up on your own monitor to see it and track it, but you can just track some of these particles and see that they're still on top of the scene. And two quick things that I thought about while editing, and yes, I did edit about 10 seconds of me zooming in frame by frame, sue me. Yes, they, I guess, could have overlaid the quantum particles over top of the scene there, but if they were going to go through that much effort, then they could have just simply gone from like around here and then started here. There would be no reason to start at an interlude scene if they were going to go through that much effort to overlay the particles. And one other quick thing, I saw it being mentioned briefly that another reason why it might be cut is because of the quantum from Microtech. Sorry for the kind of flashbang there. The quantum from Microtech to Lyria, you end up on the wrong side. Now, I haven't actually checked if this is true, but even if it is true, I think there's a pretty simple explanation, which is this. Like this, although this is an in-engine, it's not in-game, and I think they can pretty easily move the planets around. And you might ask, well, why would they do that? Well, I mean, pretty simply because to offer a better shot, I mean, this shot right here of you coming in and then you seeing Crusader is a pretty good shot. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they can't do that, but not the most compelling reason I think that it was cut. I don't know why this is stuttering. The actual video wasn't stuttering. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Maybe I'm still wrong. Maybe it was cut. Again, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I just thought that it was fun to analyze.